The Fed's aggressive stimulus announced yesterday may keep all boats bobbing for a while, but will trouble non-US central bankers. With me now to discuss this story is Reuters Breakingviews economics editor Edward Hadas. Edward, like all markets, emerging markets are rising today thanks to Ben Bernanke, but you're urging caution. Why is that?
Yeah, we feel that this is a move that's very oriented towards domestic U.S. policy, and that very soon the markets will get over their exuberance and they'll start to worry about the effect that this is going to have on the dollar. It's going to push it down, and the effect that it's going to have on commodity prices, which will push up, and that those two effects are going to be very, very negative for emerging markets. That's if the policy does what the last ones do, which is not have a lot of effect domestically, but actually mess around with the financial markets.
But as you say, if this QE3 pushes down the dollar, treasuries are already very rich, and the S&P's at a 5-year high. Surely investors would be pushed towards emerging markets.
They might do, but if what they're going to find is that the emerging markets are themselves vulnerable if you start to have any kind of disorder in the financial markets on the developed side. And then, of course, there's a possibility that it might work and the U.S. economy starts to grow and that will pull money out of there. So in a sense, what you're going to start to see is one side inflation in emerging markets, on the other side, a U.S. economy that will bring investors. This means that the emerging markets right now, exuberance, but they really do become quite vulnerable. That's what we've seen the last few times we had quantitative easing, and this time probably the bad news will come faster because people are more used to it and they start to recognize the telltale signs of inflationary pressure.
So is the big worry for you and for investors, is it inflation? I mean, we saw yesterday the Russian central bank surprised us all with a rate hike. Exactly.
These emerging markets where inflation is not under anywhere near the same kind of control, that is to say low, that it is in the US and Europe, they're really much more edgy about the danger there, and that means that their policies are going to be much more constrained.
What countries, what asset classes in the emerging market sphere should investors be most concerned about?
Look, if you always want to say the most extreme risk cases are the ones you want to worry about. So the countries that have big current account deficits that need international financing, think of India right at the top of the list, maybe Turkey, are countries where you would think that a change in investor sentiment is going to be particularly alarming.
And of course, the flip side, if, as we discussed, if this policy works and the US grows and the world economy comes back and emerging markets get out of this mess, where should investors be looking
Then you
toward?
probably want to look towards China, which is your ultimate success story in emerging markets, and where people are most worried about the export economy.
Okay, Edward, thank you very much. That's all for now. My thanks to Edward Hadas. For more financial insight, watch our US Breaking Views show every day at 12:30 Eastern, 17:30 BST. I'm Jamie McGeever. This is Reuters.